everything in a nutshell and everything you work for. You don't want to go back to that fuck shit. So of course you go to your spirituality and your spiritual place to make sure your mental is in order because that's how I learned.
What the fuck is in my pocket?
That's how I learned to stay.
A big old bag of dicks fresh from TikTok.
That's wild. So
But here's the thing. I feel like that. I'm gonna just tap into what you said. If you know that you are surrounded by negativity and you're surrounded by people who bring you down and see you as less than, right? And you know you have a gang of friends who is there for you, why not up and just leave and just be better for yourself?
So I'm going to explain this. Because I have a very, very good understanding of this. Because I have dealt with this, and I have folks who've dealt with this. It is not easy to just up and leave those situations because whether you're going to end up homeless or alone or fucking beaten, there's a bunch of different things to fear about it. For example, I've tried to get Quinn to move in with me for so long, but he was terrified because he did not want to let down the same people that were treating him like garbage. He was attached to them. And it took so fucking long of me convincing him and telling him that he's going to be safe and loved and appreciated when he sees me, for him to actually come down. It took him a lot of courage and a lot of strength to come down and say fuck you to those same people who treated him like garbage. Because sometimes you love the people that treat you like shit.
Oh yeah.
You know how many times I've let that fuck ass parents back into my life when I shouldn't have? And finally, it took me a lot of fucking strength. I cried my heart out, and I sat there asking my dad what was wrong with me. Why did I not deserve to be appreciated and respected? And I kept asking, was I a bad child? And all he could say was no. Sometimes people have a rough childhood. So I fucking cut him off. I cut him out like the fucking
And that's where I'm gonna
was. As hard as it was, I cut him out. But not everyone has the strength to do it, and it took me years to be able to do something like that.
Right, and I applaud you. I listen. I ain't getting on my knees, but that takes strength, right? But here's what I'm gonna piggyback off what you just said.
Don't you mean standing ovation?
Well, yeah, that too. But also got my knees saying like, you did that. You did your big one. You ate that. No crumbs.
I mean, you want me to beat it then?
Oh, please stop. I'm saying that because we must have had these conversations of generational curse, like how your parents were taught by their parents, how their parents taught, like it goes all the way back, right?
Yeah.
That parent has to be better for their kid. That parent had all rights to know that I will never, ever in my life treat my fucking kid the way you treated me. Never. I will never do that because you are shitty, you are a disgusting human being. You aren't the shit that sometimes I mistakenly step in when I'm walking in the street. You will never see my kid how you treated me. Never. And you can die on your deathbed by yourself. You can say that. Because at the end of the day, it takes a parent to be like, I will never, ever be like you. I've sworn to myself, my parents, they got shitty fucking personalities. And I've told them, how you parent, if I ever have kids, I will not. How my sister parents, I say you are being just like mom and dad. What makes you think that when they grow up, they'll be fucking around you? Watch how you talk to people and how you treat people. Because the same way you think that your parenting is working, they are going to neglect you.
They're not even going to have a deathbed to die alone on. Because first of all, they're going to be paying for it if it happens.
Paying for it. This is why I say at some point, generational curses have to stop. Again, you can't train the old dog new tricks. I can't tell my parents how to parent. all of us are grown. Well, technically, my dad has 3 younger kids, so he's technically not done. My mom has my brother. He is done in June. She's done parenting. Well, technically, she's not. She still has kids. No one's ever done parenting. It takes a mindset to be like, I'm never, ever, ever going to be like you. What I'm saying is, you have to be the one to put your foot down and be like, I am not going to be like you. Ever. And if that means having to cut you off, having to block you, having to cuss you out one good time, sometimes maybe having to put my hands on you, if that's what it takes for you to realize that I'm not to be fucked with, I will do that. I've told both my parents that if I gotta put my hands on you, if I gotta run you with my motherfucking car, for you to realize that I'm not one of them, you're not gonna talk to me like that, oh, I will be. You can cuss me out, you can paint me as the villain in your story. I'll take that, I'll eat that, but what I'm not gonna do is keep taking you disrespecting me. I'm not gonna do that. That's what I'm just saying. When does society as kids realize I can't be doing this? When is it okay to start breaking curses like that and be like, I don't have to stick around for this?
When it becomes taught / inherited. Sometimes these curse breakings are inherited spiritually. You may get some ancestors who figured it out along the way in the luau and turned around and decided to be like, hey man, here's a secret. How about just ignoring your mother but making her feel like you heard her, and then turn around and actually at a later point in time express to her, I wasn't feeling that. And that worked with my mama. It did. Because with her, and she's a Sagittarius, so with her, you couldn't just tell her right then and there, I didn't like that. It sucked balls. Because that would have risked your whole pharynx being pinched.
Okay.
So like, back then, and even like in the near past, I had to talk to my mom like I had to get the task done, but then I had to also express to her my displeasure in what was said or how it was said or what was done a couple of days ago or a couple of hours ago or so on or whatever. Didn't work all the time though. Did I have to deal with screaming matches and threatening to be kicked out? Yes, I did. Did I get kicked out? Yes, I did. Did I get choked out? Yes, I did. But did it break me? Nah. I think I told my mother, I've been traumatized by this family and vice versa. But if I talked to one of my snowflake ass friends about one night for what I go through, a lot of y'all would have been biting the dust.
Damn.
But then that's where we come into, I'm not saying you, but that's where we come into people trauma bonding. Or trauma dumping. Where it's just like, and I had to realize that a lot of people, and we must have these conversations where, I wasn't had to have deep conversations where it's like, I feel like I'm trauma dumping on you. And I was telling him, you are, this is a lot, no. I understand. And then I had to tell an ex-friend, that's what I'm talking about, that when I learned
trauma dumping like no tomorrow.
Yeah. And there was a time where I imploded. I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of the problems that you make my problems. You have every right, every free will, every power to change what the fuck you got going on. You're sitting here throwing a pity party. I'm not going to be here celebrating that with you. I do not condone trauma dumping if you don't want to solve the fucking issue.
Yeah.
If you want to keep making a bad mistake after another bad mistake after another bad mistake, and me as a friend, and you keep coming to me and you keep asking me for help and asking me for my opinion, and I keep giving it to you, and you keep shitting on it, at some point, I'm gonna cuss you out and be like, you know what, fuck you. Because every time you come back, you do the opposite. I'm not helping you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck if somebody were to stab you, shoot you, slap you. I don't give a fuck if somebody were to come and snatch your lips off.
Oh God.
You deserve that. Because why? I told you to stop. I told you it was going to happen. I seen it coming. You said, I don't think it's going to happen. And now look at you. Now you're looking all fucked up.
Well, all the things you done to make it good. Let me stop. I'm gonna be nice.
Now,
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, as kids who are now the new adults in a new generation, we're just dealing with a lot of trauma and a lot of mental health issues by what a lot of us went through with living with adults.
now with that,
And that's what we're gonna circle back to. What the fuck are we supposed to do? Because even therapists are going to therapist appointments.
Then they're not qualified to be therapists.
They legally have to have another therapist.
That's what I was gonna say. Those practices actually mandate the law. That just makes it even stupider to me.
That's just how it works, dude, because you realize a therapist has to hear all that bullshit.
Yeah,
That's their job.
you can't take hearing all the bullshit when you're gonna be a therapist. Some people do.
As a therapist, you're just
The whole thing about being a therapist is that you need to be okay with keeping a secret.
right.
If you're not okay with keeping a secret, why are you a therapist?
That's not the main purpose of being a therapist. It's helping the person who's in trouble make skills for themselves so that they can actually get out of whatever funk they're in.
Why does the therapist need another therapist?
Because they're going to be traumatized hearing some of the shit that other people go through. Because it's going to end up as, because you got to understand, humans are fucking evil. There's always going to be something you've never heard of before that can traumatize you for life. You know that they traumatize themselves.
No, I got this. Double A. Imagine having a special ops team. And some of those special ops teams either decoys or backups, right? When you're working in the field of psychology, that is like psychological black ops, Marine Corps. So you're gonna always have to need something like that to heal you back. So when you hear somebody's trauma, like some therapists can suck all of it in, but let's just say we're all we're all therapists and we hear one of our clients say this exact quote. I had a dream last night that I enjoyed raping and being raped by a tentacle monster. And then tentacle monster. I'm not done yet though. So I gotta be alert in this situation. Listen, I'm not done yet. You just had the answer based off of just the first trigger answer word you heard. No. So I have been enjoying these constant dreams of being sexually assaulted by a tentacle monster and assaulting others in these dreams with tentacles. Although I have these thoughts, I've been trying to act on them, and I've acted on them recently as of 2 months ago. Now, I enjoyed the idea of peeling their flesh back like a fresh peeled banana as I estimate my semen on their flesh wounds.
that would traumatize me if I was a therapist.
Okay, so you basically answered my question correctly. You are capable of doing such those things. Maybe you can control a whole Black Ops unit by yourself. You can do it. I have pretty dark thoughts. But again, like I said, you maybe can control a whole entire Black Ops unit by yourself. That's fine. But that's his Black Ops unit. When that therapist talks, that therapist gotta talk. Understand that therapist. So And
That is true. And you gotta
sometimes
think.
it's not even the talking; it's the energy behind the talking.
That's true. Your energy can be way more powerful than the words that come out of your
Oh,
mouth.
I swear to God! Like
Yes.
me saying that, like if I really said that in the most creepiest and most perverted way imaginable, that same statement, some of you
I
would
mean,
like,
I'm not traumatized. I'm not traumatized by it, but I'll look at you sideways.
You understand? There are some people who get off on either hurting somebody or like there's some therapists where they had to stop being a therapist
Because of
because
that.
some people just do the most dark and gruesome thing to other people, and they had to go to therapists. And they're what made you stop. This is why I had a client like this, and this is why I couldn't do this anymore. A
yep,
lot of therapists don't have mental capacities for certain human beings who
Exactly.
are the most just darkest, vile human beings who walk this earth.
Exactly.
So therapists do need backup help because why? Because that therapist probably got some shit going on at home and in their family that they don't know how to deal with. So they need help because sometimes they can't implement their own practices at home. Sometimes the practices that they give out to other people probably don't work for
you
them.
know what's crazy? You making that statement. My mom has a master's in psychology, right?
Does she?
So, oh yeah, she does.
Like, does
So
she actively
for
practice it? Like,
me,
she has clients and shit?
you said what?
Does she actually practice it? Like, she has clients that she counsels?
She used to, and her health affected her.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I used to see my mom go to work, or I used to see my mom come home from work at 3:15 exactly
Oh, shit.
after school. It was fun. But when I talked to one of my therapists when I was incarcerated, I asked my therapist, why the fuck? So why the fuck a parent who has this degree can't implement the same shit to their household?
Right.
Because she said it in the most simple way. I cannot. She was a mother. She said, "What sense does it make for me to turn up?" Or it's sometimes a little hard to turn off your mom brain for your therapist brain and vice versa.
Yup.
Sometimes you can't do that, especially in the heat of the moment with your kids,
Right.
because it's like it's almost as if like you're treating them as a subject. Some parents do feel like if they implement these practices on their kids, they're gonna feel like they're treating their kid as a subject. And some parents will succumb to that and actually treat their kid as a subject.
The subject and a patient. I'm not your subject, I'm not your patient. I'm your kid. Watch how you talk to me.
Or some people
that
that are parents, or
Go
some
ahead, Joe.
people, yeah, like, or some therapists that have kids at home. Sometimes they don't want to bring that therapy shit home. They do it all day, and
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
why do they want to bring that
Sometimes
home?
they are just the biggest world's fucking hypocrite.
Yep.
They will tell you what to do, how to treat your kid, how to talk to your kid, how to love your kid, but at home, they at home beating their kid, starving their kid, sexually assaulting their kid, belittling their kid. So it's like, how can you sit here and tell somebody else how to talk and understand their child if you can't do it at home? Bitch, because now you're going to see me outside.
Damn.
You do. Because that's
My
why
brother used to say the most stupidest shit. It was funny to me.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought you were coming upstairs with a belt. I'm like, who is it you finna whip?
So my brother, he used to say the stupid ass quote. He was like, "I don't want to get a therapist," and I'm like, "Why? Look at the name, the rapist."
Wow. Oh. I'm a Christian.
And I'm like, I was like, man, bitch. I'm like, you telling me that I got a therapist for a rapist? This is crazy.
How does that work?
Crazy.
Either way, tomato, tomato.
Tomato, tomato, potato.
But at the same time, though. But at the
Wait,
same.
bitch, you know what? Shut the fuck up.
But at the same
I
time,
didn't do
though.
nothing. Listen, I didn't do nothing. Lie, you fuck asshole.
But at the same.
I'm not thinking, I really hope, I ain't gonna say that.
But at the same. Hold
So I
on.
just all 7 of them bitches will come back and I'll fist them all and make them prolapse.
But at the same time, like going back on the therapist rapist thing, I mean, is that really highly unusual? Most of these offenses happen by people who are either therapists, pastors, etc. So I'm like, this isn't something we haven't seen before.
Well, you know how you get so comfortable with spending money and someone tells you to check your bank account? I say that $900 some dollars in my account. Ain't that good?
Yeah.
You know what? Don't be dramatic. Okay.
What do you mean dramatic? I just said yeah, you sucker.
Yeah, but it was sarcastic when you said it, though.
Well, they tried to until I backhanded another one and it spiraled down like tailspin. Negative thoughts only begets negative consequences.
Right.
Well, all I say is that yes, mental health is a dangerous game and it's becoming more and more and more of a problem as teenagers become new adults and adults just become more fucking adults. But this is what my partner had made clear to me, and it kind of opened up my eyes. And he's like, some people want help, some people just want attention,
Yup.
and some people just don't know where to start.
Yup.
I said, where do you start and you take a baby step? Just talking to a friend. He's like, right, but what if my friend feels like
they're overwhelmed?
hello?
Hello, ma'am.
What are you looking for?
Oh.
Giant XL condoms.
What?
Okay, I'm a Christian woman and Tasia is around old people. I mean, elderly people.
I'll check that. What's the last place you had it if you know?
Ribbed with bumps.
Gosh.
I don't know what all of that means, but it sounds gross.
What do you mean out of the goddamn condom talk?
Oh, God. Just kill yourself, shit.
Oh my god, you're doing it, and I'm here for it. Chantel, you have been transforming. This is crazy. This is amazing.
So proud of you, Chantel.
We are so proud of you, sis.
In that same aspect, you first, bitch.
Also,
And I'll see you down there too, bitch.
No, because if I'm going, I'm going to take your big couple
no, little sis, I got this one. My love, Chantel,
What?
I need you to do a favor for me, like we're at the pool, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to belly flop on a spike.
I would never do that because even belly flopping on water would cause pain.
Yeah, it would cause pain to everyone surrounding you.
I don't like public.
You turned my joke into a 4th grade joke, Camilla. No!
You know, I am trying.
Your joke is already a 4th grade joke. What do you mean fall on a spike? That's so fucking old.
You know what? I'm done. I'm up here trying to conform, and y'all want to come for me when I try, so I'm done. Look,
Oh my god, lady! That's how it works. You're supposed to up the ante.
Upping ante. Copy.
That means working off of each other, insulting each other, just building up, and eventually it'll just become funny as shit because it's you guys say the stupidest shit, you know?
Yeah, for real.
That's how it works. It starts out serious, and then you just try to up each other with the most stupidest shit you've ever heard.
Turns into a bag of chaotic frog dicks.
I got it. So after you say, so let me see if I follow this correctly. So I said kill yourself. You said something about you were gonna do something to me down there, and something about falling on a spike. So my up ante would be, I guess, fall on a spike down your throat.
Yeah, you getting it.
Yeah, you getting it.
Nah, because you know what? If I'm gonna fall on a spike down my throat, I'm not gonna be a bitch. I'm not gonna use lube.
Oh God.
Then
my upping ante would be. Okay, so the up.
They call me the sword swallower.
I was just really gonna call you a spike gobbler, but okay.
Okay. Well, since we're not using lube, then I'll make sure it's nice and rusty.
I know, right?
I'm the sword swallower. You're the cannon swallower. Because I know about them Johns.
Okay, well then if that's the case, then since I'm the cannon, whatever, then I guess you're the plunger that has to pipe, that has to pump the ball down the throat. Then.
You started calling your mouth a snake, bitch. You started calling your mouth a snake.
No, because I'm a plunger. You're the vacuum that they sell every year on those infomercials.
Then I guess after I'm done swallowing you, they're gonna have to empty my vacuum bag.
Didn't even have the decency to call you a shark vacuum. That's crazy.
Nah, because you're really gonna have a sticker on your ass that says "As seen on TV."
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, that's just where there's a sticker on her ass. I see on TV. Please shut the fuck up.
And you would have to be close enough to see that sticker, honey.
Nah, I didn't have to be close enough. Everybody knows about it because they can't miss it. They just look outside.
Well, at some point, someone had to get close enough.
Come on,
Close enough is just being on the same planet.
Uh-huh. And I must be really that important for people to stop and look at said planet.
Yeah, but guess what? People don't have a choice to acknowledge the sun's existence. So what about you?
Yup, and that's how I am too. You don't have a choice, so get ready.
Not the get ready. I spread my cheeks and blood.
Camilla, I keep trying to tell you. She is the goddess of bowel movements. She will clog you. Respect her.
Well, sometimes.
You know, that'd actually be nice. I'm not gonna lie.
To be clogged up, excuse me.
I like DP.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Well,
She basically be curing me.
if she clogs you up,
That's okay.
I
Then I'll
would be
just
clogged
clog
up
you and
every
you'll
once
come
in a while
back.
instead of having to shit 3 times a day.
No. Sometimes, no.
Well, you know what?
I
Well, you
don't have a
must be...
disease, bitch.
Okay, well,
The same way
at that point,
And the
bitch,
escape engine has HIV.
wait, what? Bitch got AIDS?
Yeah, and she apparently takes her medication for it, but guess what?
Hey, man.
You know, they're like, oh, it's unrecognizable on a test, but guess what, bitch? Every single time when we visit with that bitch,
It's a good chat. Don't berate his name.
every single
That's what I heard you
time,
talking about.
every single time when I was living with that bitch, and they were about
And that
to take
little
their
thing on the
meds,
table on the counter. Do you want to let her know that it's not down here? She's sitting up there.
yo, so every time that bitch would try to take her meds, or like every time it'd be time to take her meds, she'd just turn off the fucking alarm and not do it. That bitch has raging AIDS.
Oh.
Motherfucker, don't touch that bitch with a pole because the pole will get AIDS. Damn.
as funny or
That's one of the
maybe...
pet peeves. If you know that I'm busy with my food, don't leave me half shit to do.
Real shit though. That's why I'm not mad about it. That's why I'm not mad because that's karma for touching on kids.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so...
And
Because
see,
death is coming at your ass.
I would just like to I would just like
pull
to
down
say,
his pants and show you what's underneath.
that's gross.
No.
So, okay, so I would like to say
I
something.
guess you can call it a bone herb.
That's gross. But as I was saying, hold on. Okay. As funny as this is, and I'm not defending any of this, but at some point, when is continuously talking about this is going to get old? Because as funny as it is, and I'm not trying to protect
It's not just about it being funny. It's about the fact that there's not a whole lot that we can do to actually get this bitch taken care of the proper way. So if we can desecrate and maim this bitch with our words as much as we can, that's the only thing we can do.
I guess, but I guess the
at
question
the end of
is,
the day, I'm not going to start talking about Thomas the Train fuck ass. Because at the end of the day, Thomas the Train knows exactly what the fuck he did. And as long as this show lives, that motherfucker will be talked about, degraded, and called
He doesn't touch children.
I mean,
And honestly, for me personally, until that motherfucker goes back to prison and gets shanked or shivved, I will not stop talking about him. Because motherfucker needs to pay the price, and until they pay the proper price, or at least a price that was set out for them by Death himself via HIV, I'm not gonna stop talking about him.
I mean, I don't care. I'm not like saying that, oh, you guys shouldn't. because I mean it's everyone's perspective. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I mean, doesn't it ever get old? Like I don't give a shit. Clearly,
you just reminded me of something, Chantel. We did have a conversation about difficulties leaving certain people in situations and circumstances because it's hard.
Yes.
Leaving toxic environments. Exactly. And that actually brings us to a wonderful point of your friendship with Thomas.
Okay, I know some of that.
That's a dead game.
It is.
I don't care, man. That's Thomas the Tank Engine. He's the little engine that could.
No, this motherfucker's Thomas the fat thermonuclear bomb.
And you call him Diesel instead? No one likes
Diesel. What about Vin Diesel?
Don't ever talk about my motherfucking husband. You better
exactly. So don't say no Diesel. Vin Diesel exists.
I don't care about last names. I'm talking about this train. I'm still talking about a train. Did y'all not watch Thomas the Tank Engine?
I mean,
yes, we did.
So how do y'all automatically jump to Vin Diesel?
Exactly. Because he said Diesel.
The train. Diesel.
Yes, there's a train called Diesel.
Call that man.
I have not watched that shit since I was a fucking child. Forgive me.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Everybody knows who the fuck he is, but no, not everybody remembers every intricate detail of the show that they haven't watched since they were fucking 3 or 4.
You don't have to remember, you can just look it up.
Yeah. Why the fuck would I do that when I could look up big bitches?
Oh, okay.
Don't you already do that?
So you can actually have a decent name for somebody you don't like? How about that?
You know what?
But anyway,
that's when I resort to my favorite word.
But even trains to this day are recognized as Diesel. So it's not basically completely referenced to the TV show or cartoon back in the day, because trains some of them are called Diesels because they run on that particular fuel.
That's gay. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. I understand it's difficult, but knowing what this certain fatback has done, why the fuck are you still friends with them? What do they give you? What do you profit from them?
So this ties into the mental health aspect, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but I suffer from being alone, and I know that I have access to you guys at certain points. However, she is easily accessible. However, though, I'm not as entwined with her as some of you would suggest. I'm not constantly, although she is in my as Mel would say, but I don't be jogging her chain as some would suggest. But I do understand the question for why I would still have her around, and it goes back to my child. I myself have suffered with people constantly leaving me. So when I have either leaving me of their own choice or leaving me in Mel's terms, Sanitos leading them to somewhere. So when I have a friend or friends that have no intention of wavering or disappearing, it makes me kind of want to hold on to that. So I'm not saying that that's
I understand the feeling, but if that's all you're getting is just not being alone, yes, you are filling that void, but everything else that comes with the friendship is just not being given to you. So at that point,
being friends with a pedophile, it's just a no, because to me, that's just, and that is what I'm going to circle back to using as an excuse. That man did something heinous to children and is probably still doing it. Holding on to a friendship with a person with that background, to me, is a fuck no.
And if you're that alone, I don't have a problem with you hitting my line or bothering me. Because I have my brother who does that shit. I have plenty of friends who does that shit, and I still fucking make time for them.
But here's where I'm not making excuses. I have this thing where I feel like I don't want to be a burden to people, and people of you guys' intellect and stature. I feel that if I would excessively rely on you, like I almost or like I somewhat do her, that you guys would distance you guys would
in my
distance
experience,
yourself
I've
from
never
me.
felt like you had to rely on me for anything.
First of all, I talk to Maleficent. Maleficent is one of my friends. Bitch, you are fine.
Because I mean, there's
I'm talking to
times
Maleficent.
because like at some point, like but where I'm getting at, like there are times like
Don't worry.
can I finish talking? Goddamn. Like there are times where say I want to call Mel or I want to call Tasia specifically, but I know that you guys are extremely busy with your own shit. So if I was to dump my shit, say onto Tasia or anybody else here, I would feel like I'm doing too much because my shit is deep to the point where Tasia would probably feel like I'm I forgot how she called it, but something about like emotionally dumping or something of that matter, and I don't want to do that to someone who is equipped to deal with that.
The only time it becomes trauma dumping, or you're just doing it, is when it's a constant thing that I'm clocking all the time, and you have all rights to fix it. The answer's in front of you. You know what you have to do. You're just ignoring it for your own benefit. You're throwing a pity party. That's when I get pissed off.
And
If you want to bend my line, bend it. If you want to call me, just call me. I'm letting everybody know, hey, I'm at work, so just know I will call you or call me. I say, hey, let me call you back when I wake up so I can actually talk to you.
Where's Anakin?
That's what I'm scared of because some of the things, because where I'm coming from, like sometimes like the shit that I dump sometimes may come off as trauma dumping at times, and I don't mean
it's
come off that
trauma
way.
dumping and venting. There's a difference, and everybody gets the two mixed up. There's trauma dumping and there's venting. If I can clock that you're just trying to vent to me, like bitch, I need a vent. I'm irritated. By me hearing that statement, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Talk to me. What's going on? Talk to me.
Because I'm like most.
Because you just set the tone.
Oh.
And be like, hey, bitch, what you doing? You know, you like. Have you seen like have you seen Maleficent said? Did you go on the radio and hear what the fuck this man just said? Or do you know what the topics for the live are? Like, you know what's going on with you?
Oh, I do that.
That's fine. All I'm saying is when I get irritated, it's like is when, and I've told you this, Chantel. The only reason why you give me a sour taste in my mouth sometimes is because you're friends with Thomas, the bootlegger train. Because of what this man's background is. That is the part that frustrates me, that pisses me off. Because to me, I raise an eyebrow raise. I'm like, for what? For why? This man gives no benefits. This man gives zero fucks. So again, why are we communicating with somebody that has no nothing?
And I'm like, I get it. Like, there is no excuse. I can't even combat that. I don't know. I just constantly like people around.
You have Maleficent, who is several floors above you, who 9 times out of 10 is always in your face. So you can't say you're alone. You can't say that. I'm usually banging the line of just calling out because I'm just bored. Like, hey, what's wrong? What are you doing?
Right.
Or if I'm in the area, I'll come by and I'll pop up. Okay, what we trying to do today?
Right.
So then, all I hear right now is excuses of why you can't do it, knowing that you can do it. And that's where I circle back of, I can't stand when people have the answer in front of their face, they just don't want to do it. That is what pisses me off.
I mean, it's an excuse, clearly. But I'm like, I don't know. I just have it just gives a bad taste. If I'm just not even just her and her circumstances of what she did. It's just that thought of being that one, just to be like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, my moral conflict would fuck me so bad. I'd feel so bad for doing that.
Take out from Alexa and I and Camilla. Get the fuck out my face. Because one thing I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna say it to 10 toes, when you do fuck shit like that, I'm cutting you off. And like now, goddamn back hurting because of this conversation. Like, it just, again, we're circling back to you just don't want to. And if you just don't want to, just say that.
It's not.
Just say that. You just don't want to.
It's not that.
Not that you don't want to, say you can't.
What, you procrastinating?
I mean, shit. I'm just afraid that's what it was. I'm afraid that if I do that, then shit, over time, you guys will probably get tired of me over some point, and then if you guys ever choose to leave me, then I have no one at that point.
You don't have trust in them. I was just gonna say that.
It's not.
I really got on there and I like to trust me sometimes.
It's not.
Listen, I would trust myself sometimes.
You don't have trust in friends who gonna be there for you.
Well, if that's the case, then you've been around some shitty friends who broke your trust. You've been around shitty people who've done that to you time and time, and respectfully, like I tell everybody, don't make that my problem because that's not me.
Yeah. I'm not trying to play that.
Don't put us in that same category as friends, so-called friends who've done that to you. I'm not them and they're not me.
Right.
If I wanted to walk out, I would have been on this call. I wouldn't give time to the damn podcast. I wouldn't go and help y'all out with your grocery shopping and y'all bills. I wouldn't have given time to do that if I did not care. You wouldn't have trusted me you wouldn't have trusted me to delegate your finances to help you with extra money. No one would have. First of all, that's a boundary. Because I hate when people cost my money, but you felt comfortable enough for me to do that so I can help you.
I felt trust.
That was trust.
Yes.
You trust me being in your house. I mean, you ain't got nothing for me to steal, so I'm just be respectful. I'm not gonna rob you.
Well, I wasn't thinking about that.
I mean, a lot of trust goes into having a friendship. I trust you enough to be in my face. I trust you enough to talk to you about certain things. I trust you enough where I feel like I can be myself around you.
Right.
And you have that.
That means a lot to me. I honestly didn't know those other things. I'm about to cry. Oh God, I'm such an emotional person. This is embarrassing.
I'm just respectfully, just from the time Mr. Train.
That's support.
That's support. Respectfully, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't have talked to you. I mean, you have conversations where in the past I did think some type of way about you, but let you know why I did.
Right.
I let everybody know, why did you like me at first? Because, well, you did this, I seen that, you have this type of tendency, but now you fixed it, you corrected that, now I'm cool with you.
Right. That means a lot,
guys. Respectfully, I don't, you fuck with a pedo. And to me, that pisses me off, and that to me, that's what gives me a sour taste in my mouth. Like, that's the one thing that I cannot oversee for the life of me. I can't. And I won't. He needs to be by himself. He needs to be alone, and I feel like he also needs to be disintegrated by the sun itself.
I don't know. I guess I just have this sixth sense that everybody can change despite the behavior.
Oh, everybody changes.
I'm like,
human nature. All of us change at some point.
But it's not okay to.
But what I'm trying to
look at people not trying to change and act like they will.
I'm like, and that's why I'm trying to stress. But what I'm trying to stress is that even though. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to stress and what I'm trying to put out there is that even though I'm around or talk to this person, that I am not sanctioning the behavior, and I told them as much. I'm not sanctioning it, but I'm not a cold shoulder to somebody. I may not like certain things that people do, but I don't cut them off because of that because I feel it's wrong.
I hate it when people say they do half of something and they don't do half of something. That's not even half, not even a quarter. But I'm at work, so I can't yell and spaz out. But I'm gonna do 10 extra, and they can kiss my ass.
Real shit though. I understand overlooking certain things like, oh, the motherfucker stank like ass.
Yeah.
But being a pedophile and not just straight up convicted and freed and then continuing to pray, that's not justifiable. That's not something that should be ever overlooked.
I'm
that's not something that's like, oh, okay, I can't just judge them based. No, you should judge them. That's their character.
But that's not what I'm trying.
One thing you should judge another human for is the content of their character, and that's their character. They're a predator.
So before we continue, I'm still recovering from a cold, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna probably get some rest, but here's what I need from my co-host tonight.
Okay.
To fucking turn up whenever y'all ready.
Yeah. No.
So, I will just give my personal closing, and y'all can continue. Mental health is not a joke, and I know we joke a lot in this podcast about a lot of things, including how retarded a bunch of dumb fuck assholes is. But, always have discernment. Because you ain't never gonna know what a motherfucker going through or what there is to know about a motherfucker until a motherfucker makes it good for a motherfucker to know some motherfucking shit, motherfucker. So, yeah. Moral of the story, don't be a bunch of motherfuckers.
Holy shit. Yeah. So now all I'm trying to get at, I guess what should I say? I'm not condoning said behavior, and I noticed that I didn't in my own way judge them because like to me that shit's not okay. But I'm like, I have the mindset that I'm like, people can change. It doesn't mean that I think that what they did in the past is not shitty, because it is. But I also believe the only reason why I haven't flat out like, this bitch gotta go, is because I haven't seen for myself any evidence that this praying that everybody thinks she's still doing is still occurring. Although what she did, I guess she should be disintegrated and all of that stuff that everyone said. I mean, yeah, she should pay
I guess the only thing that we could say is if you want to truly have evidence, think about this, Chantel. Quinn and I were told by Liz that she considers people our age like children. And that's like the type of like relationship she'll have. She'll like, you guys are like kids to me, You guys aren't really like, you guys can be adults, but you guys are like kids to me. But guess, you want to know what her track record is of like an actual legitimate dating history? It's people my age.
But you're 20.
People who are 21 to 18, who she deems as children.
Yeah,
that's a legal way of her doing that shit.
Yes, but somebody with that type of mindset, anybody who touches and preys on little children respectfully have a special spot in hell. Liz, aka, y'all know, or I call her him, she, he, whatever the fuck, God fucking forbid. Thomas Citron will always be known as the motherfucker who should not be breathing at all. Not whatsoever. And the fact that they let him off the hook from Chicago, and he fled all the way.
He's on government assistance, like he never did anything wrong.
Right, the fact that he's here, and two, he probably tried so hard to keep his past hidden. The fact that it came up, and he was trying to sweep that under the rug, telling them they don't know what they're talking about, and I can change, like I cuss his ass out. No one can change from that. That is not a mistake. That is not a mistake. You can't say that's a mistake. You can't say that you didn't know what you were doing at the time because you did.
That much
You
I
knew
agree.
exactly.
And if it was the circumstance of if there was an accident, let's be honest, even if it was an accident, you woke up and a minor was sucking on you, you turn yourself in.
Okay.
You tell the parents and you turn yourself into the police. The bitch didn't do that. Hell, the bitch has not gotten in trouble for that.
So all
From what we know, they didn't get in trouble from that shit.
Because if he did, he wouldn't be roaming.
From what we know, that case that got that motherfucker on the registry in the first place is completely separate from that. From that other situation, and the fact that that went unreported. You see, when I'm not going to talk about this because this is nobody else's business, but there are people who have had less damning situations where it wasn't a minor, but it was just a situation where they felt bad about it, and they turned themselves in for far less. And the bitch didn't even have the couth to turn themselves in for something like that, because whether it was intended or not, that's a child.
Right.
Thank you.
If that were to happen to me, which hell no, it would never, that's disgusting, I would turn myself in so fucking fast. I don't care if it was intentional or not, that's disgusting, and you need to go to jail.
Especially when there is no excuses when it comes to God's children. There is no excuse. We are not going to sit here and give excuses for somebody preying on somebody's downfall. We're not going to do that.
No, and that's what I'm trying to make clear. I'm not making justifications for what she did. And I heard she told me the other story about the minor, and I was like, honey, that's disgusting. Why? And to this day, I still don't have a clear answer on why. But, I mean, I guess there is no but.
Oh! Did you find your pendant?
But, I don't know.
This one's floor to floor. So they start on the first floor, they go to second, and then they go to third. No.
But anyway.
You have to sign up.
The only reason that you're still hanging around this person is because they need to find some other friends. It's going to be hard and it's going to be a process, but that's just typically how it works with anything. Relationships of all kinds. It's hard to find the right friend or the right person.
Right.
Like, would you rather have a friend who's not only a past convicted pedophile, but someone who basically got away with another act of pedophilia? Or would you rather be, like, sorting through friends, but you just to find the right one who's not a fucking illegal monster?
You got a point.
The only bad that I can ever see coming out of not talking to this bitch no more is the fact that she's manipulative and will try to pull some fuck shit. Because you know how vindictive that person is.
That's another thing, too. I mean, low key.
Like, and the bitch is not, if you leave that bitch, which is honestly, for yourself, it's only good for you. It's the best thing you can do with that kind of friendship, just leave. That's the best thing that you can do. The only bad that will come is from that bitch trying to do something to you, or to say something about you, or spread lies, or whatever have you, or business that's not hers to share around.
Exactly.
That's the only thing. And honestly, if that happens, it comes my way, that's none of my business. The bitch can go fuck off. You're not going to be talking about my friend like that.
And that's not that. I mean, she can be vindictive. I mean, there There was a time.
Remember what happened to... Dude, we almost all lost our housing because of this bitch.
Yeah, she was doing extra.
And we only got shitty up half-assed apologies from it.
Camilla was basically entirely put on house arrest because of this shit.
You know what that fucking does to motherfuckers?
And you guys...
You know what that motherfucker... You know what that does to motherfuckers, honestly? Because before I was homeless, or even just before, like, when I was... It stopped when I was a senior in high school, but because of how my parents treated me, I used to isolate. That began to happen again, and it put me into bad habits and got me to gain weight. It got me to be less self-sufficient, which is something I worked very hard earning.
And the thing that I wanted to say,
I lost that because I was forced to stay in one place for an extended amount of time with nothing else to do.
I mean, and you guys have to realize, or at least you didn't then, but I mean, at least now I want to say, I mean, please believe when I say I did not sanction any of that shit.
I'm not going to blame you for it. I'm blaming the ugly bitch who did it, not you.
Because, like me and Mel almost fell out for a good minute because she was telling you some shit that you and Mel was saying. Then she'd go back and say something that y'all allegedly said. Like, it almost fucked all of us. And I had no clue until it was sifted later. And that's why I was distant and said some things I should not have said. But it was based on information that I did not all the way clearly have. But I did not sanction any of this.
I don't know. I'm not mad at you. I was never ever mad at you. That's the thing. And you already know this. I was the only person I was ever frustrated with throughout everything was Thomas. That motherfucker done pissed me the fuck off with that shit.
Because I'm like, had I known the whole situation of what happened, I probably wouldn't have let it go big like that. But I did not know.
Yeah, but you can't. That's the thing is, you can't change it though. All you can do is move on.
Right.
And that's the difference between us and that troglodyte. They're still trying to be on some weird shit. They still haven't turned themselves in from the time that they did nasty shit with a child.
Right.
Oh, they're not going to.
Exactly, they're not going to. If they clearly changed their ways, they would turn themselves in. Easy. But they're not.
Right.
The motherfucker is doing everything but actually, on paper, atoning for their sins. They're saying that they feel bad. But that's not how shit works. There's consequences. Saying you feel bad doesn't change that there are consequences to things.
Saying you feel bad doesn't mean you're sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. In hell, sometimes saying you're sorry doesn't mean you're actually going to atone and work on it. No. And honestly, that's like the eternal damnation from there. Once you do something stupid like that, eternal damnation. There is no going back. You accept your punishment and you continue on.
And you feel they're not doing that?
And whether you accept it or not does not change what's going to happen, regardless, but at that point, motherfucker, that's a step in the right direction.
Right. I see where y'all
You know, I'm not religious, but that bitch is going to hell. If there is a hell, that bitch is going to the deepest, darkest, scorching parts of it.
Oh, good Lord.
We feel that would be the seventh layer.
Okay, they're gonna make an 8th layer for that bitch.
You said there's an 8th layer. Good Lord.
Well, there's designated layers for everything that you do that makes you worthy of hell.
Good God.
I just saw.
Probably just made a bunch of group of bodies all to be different.
I don't see true evil very often, not physically, but that's probably like one of the most blatant cases of true evil that I've seen from somebody. straight up manipulation, lies, bullshit, things that beyond fucking